how to win easily in PvZ.
Oh yeah.
스폰 게임 하는 거에 보는데 전혀 도움이 안
Are you streaming
되지만
yet?
이 점수
I'm
때문에
streaming.
쉽게 이길 수 있는 빌드 하나 가르쳐드리겠습니다.
I'll be teaching you guys easy build that I can win in this ladder scores.
진짜 쉽게 이길 수 있는 방법.
This is really easy to get ladder points with.
그러면서도 쉽게 이길
It's
수
very safe, but you can win very easily.
있어요.
Just watch carefully.
1분 뒤에 개봉박두.
I'll be revealing to it in 1 minute.
하지만 솔직히 강이라기보단 컨트롤 잘하는 사람이 장땡이야 그거.
Proxy 99 gate isn't easy. It's not a build easy to win build. It's just a micro build.
2등급에서 자
You can kill.
파일럿 지어줍니다.
Yeah, you make a pylon on the ramp.
언덕에 파일럿 지어주고
Make a pylon on the ramp.
내가 유튜브 강의 했던 것 중에서 진짜 인기 있는 게 원게이트 플레이였는데
Well, my most popular YouTube tutorial so far has been one gate tutorial.
채팅창에서 알아봐 주시네. 10, 12게이트 운영을 이번에 가르쳐 드릴게요.
I'll be teaching you guys 10, 12 gate macro.
이번에 토스의 정석 빌드였던
This is the standard build before the Nexus first builds came up to be popular in PvZ.
10게이트 짓고
10 gate,
미네랄 붙일게요.
and then go back mine on the to mining on the main.
원래 게이트 서치인데 이렇게 하는 이유가 있습니다.
Well, well, normally you'd go gate, make a gateway, and then scout, but there's a reason behind bringing your probe back over here.
이렇게 하는 이유가 있어요. 왜냐하면은 일찍 나가서 좋은 이유가 없는 게
There is no good reason for you to be going out on the map with a scout probe this early.
보세요.
Look at, just watch.
자 이제 10의 게이트 짓고
With 12
예,
gateway,
게이트 짓습니다.
another gateway at 12.
그리고 상대가 보통 1시에서 5시로 오죠.
So your overlord comes around from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock around now.
로보 서치를 7시로 갈게요.
So you're going to go to the 7 o'clock.
시계 방향으로 가시면 됩니다. 투혼에서.
In Fighting Spirit, you go clockwise. Because the overlord.
그리고 원질럿을 찍어주고
Get one zealot,
16까지 프로브를 찍어줄게요.
and up to 16 you get probes.
그리고 16의 두 번째 파일럿.
And at 16, second pylon.
자 그리고
And then after,
입구에 질럿을 안 세워놓습니다.
and in the entrance, you do not put your zealots in the entrance.
세워놓으면 안 됩니다.
You must not.
7시에 없죠.
So there's none at 7 o'clock, right?
세워놓으면 안 되고
You're not supposed to put that at the 7 o'clock.
이제 원질럿이 나왔을 때 여기 이렇게 서치를 갑니다. 여기
And with the when your second zealot's about to come out, go scout your natural position.
그리고 17에 투질럿을 찍어서 21을 맞춰주고
And then at 17 you get second zealot, get 21 up to 21 supply.
나갈게요. 근데 여기서 웬만하면 오버를 만나야 돼. 안 만나.
And most of the time you should be able to meet Overlord at around this supply in your natural when you scout out with your probe.
맞죠?
You haven't met any Overlord, right? Then go back, pull your probe back.
상대 위치를 알았기 때문에. 자,
Well, I just met the probe over there using my with a drone over there, using my probe there, so I know that it's a cross position.
이 만약에 1시일 때 오버가 마주칠 수 있기 때문에 이 질럿을 입구에 안 세워놓은 건데.
The reason why you don't put your spawn zealot immediately on the ramp is that you're trying to hide your first zealot from the Overlord.
11시기 때문에
And since it's 11 o'clock,
팔런 짓고
just make third pylon, 2 zealots. Oh wait,
터치 이상하게 했는데.
this guy just got it weirdly.
자 이걸 뛸게요.
Never mind, I'm just gonna go attack.
벗어난 플레이야. 이게 낮은 점수의 그거.
So this is the secret behind these low MMR people. They're playing weirdly.
거예요, 여러분. 강의하기 힘든 점.
This is a kind of weird part about these tutorials. Too low of a score, they don't follow the norm.
이 원래대로라면 아까 프로브 나왔을 때 오버가 와야 되거든요.
Normally, under normal circumstances, when my probe went out there, when my second probe went out there, you should have met Overlord there.
진짜 개고수 아니면은 초보야.
Either this guy is playing real mind games and he's really really good at this game, or he's really shit at this game.
자, 3질러 모아서 뛸게요. 봐봐, 이거 오버가 이상한 데서 왔잖아, 이거.
Oh, I'm gonna take 3 zealots and go. Oh, look at that! Overlord came at a really weird spot.
이상한 데서 왔는데?
Oh, that's weird.
뭐야?
What is this?
자, 하여튼 5질러
5 zealots,
질러. 자,
6, 7 zealots.
압박을 줘. 이게
make them, and then get pressure. Because my scout was low,
이렇게 찍어야 돼요.
you have to go because your scout was late this time. Let's control it a bit and attack. Get some profits here.
운영이기 때문에
Stutter step. Since you're macroing off of this,
만 봐줄게요.
you just need to get some benefits from this. You don't need to win the game here.
찍었죠?
Get up to 7 zealots.
실질러까지 찍었어요.
Get up to 7 zealots.
넥서스를 지을게요.
And just get Nexus right away. You don't need to overextend here. Just
만 찍게 해주고
Just force the Zerg to keep making Zerglings off of the larva. Just
자, 7질러까지 찍었고
and after 7 zealots,
9질러까지 찍어줄게요.
get 8 and 9 zealots.
받고
So you saw that he's making more links.
자, 이제 인구수는 절대 막히면 안 돼요.
You can never get supply blocked here.
칠수 있기 때문에
Because under this situation, the Zerg can go all Zergling all in.
앞에 놔두면서 저글링 숫자를 계속 간보세요.
Just leave a probe in the front and then keep tab on Zergling count. And then you should never build Forge with this build.
안 하고 내가 더블 가져가는데 내가 더블 가져가지만 상대가 저글링을 많이 찍게만 하는 빌드예요.
This build's entire purpose is to force out Zerglings while you're taking your second base. It's not to build Forge.
자, 9질러 찍었죠. 상대가 썬크
That's all you're doing.
올링을 안 친다는 거기 때문에
So since you saw the opponent make a sunken, this means that opponent will not be doing Ling all in.
질러 치고 바로 포
So you can rest on your you can skip getting your Zealots and you can just go Cybernetics core.
저글링 생각이 못하게 해주고
Just prevent your Ling from riding on the 11 o'clock position downward to sneak past Lings. Just block that entrance.
이해하시면 돼요. 이 썬크는 드론 한 마리가 사라지기 때문에 올인을 안 한다는 거야. 수비를 하고
So you just understand this concept. That one sunken that was put there means that the Zerg sacrificed one drone to do that, so he won't be doing all in.
는 선내어가 아니라는 거예요.
Yo, are you
그렇다면
recording?
So yeah, I'm recording. Why?
Oh, okay, just wondering.
Okay. And let me go back.
자, 발업이 됐다는 거는
So since oh my god, someone mute that. And then since you have seen that the Zergling went speedling upgrade, it means that it's not layer first, it's speed first.
거예요. 그렇다면은 투회 처리 레어가 아닌 이상 내가 테크가 빠르다는 거고 지금
So as long as it's not 2 hatchery layer build, it means that your tech is faster than the opponent's.
자, 지금 포지가 없는데도 되게 안정적이죠.
So you're really safe even though you don't have a forge up.
자, 이제 앞마당에 프로그랑 다 찍어놨는데도 돈이 남다. 이때 포지를 지어주세요.
So you only make forge when you got your natural up, you have natural probes mining, you made probes in the natural, and you still have money left over, then you make forge.
자, 그리고 가스가 되자마자
And then as soon as your gas is done, it is enough, you get Stargate right away.
지어주고 앞마당 가스도 빨리 지어줄게.
Get natural gas.
그래서
You have a lot of minerals left over with this build.
편하게 뭐 쓴다고 하지만 돈이 다 됩니다.
You still have enough minerals with this build. You have pretty rich with this build.
상대가 오버가 있어서 드라를 찍는 게 아닙니다. 투회 처리 뮤타를 생각해야 돼요.
So you're not just making dragoons over here because of to catch that overload over there. You're just making dragoons so that to get ready for possibility of 2 hatch muta.
왜냐하면은 가난하지만 투회 처리라서 라바가 없기 때문에 썬큰으로 방어를 하기 위해서 썬큰을 지은 게 있을 수 있거든요. 그런 상황이.
There's a possibility where the opponent might have made a choice to be really economically poor by sacrificing a drone to make a sunken, yet he's also going muta. So you need to be ready for that situation.
그런 상황이 있기 때문에 투드라를 찍어주는 거예요.
So make 2 dragoons.
뮤탈 때문에. 그리고 이 질럿이 미리 많이 찍어놨기 때문에
Since you have a lot of zealots left over, make +1 attack upgrade.
커서에 찍었죠.
Make Corsair right away.
파일런은 절대 맞으면 안 된다.
You should never get supply blocked, so keep making pylons.
프로게이머 상대로도 나쁘지 않아요.
This isn't too bad against pro gamers as well.
근데 리플 보고 다시 설명을 해줄게요.
But I'm gonna go over the replay and then explain to you one more time after.
상대가 트위처리 뮤탈일 수도 있기 때문에 투드라를 찍어놨고
You made 2 dragoons just now, just in case it's 2 hatch muta.
후진이 찍어줍니다.
And then just keep making Corsairs.
커세어가 항상 저그전에서 항상 저그전에서 팁.
So the tip that you should keep in mind, the first thing that should come into your mind when you're using Corsairs in PvZ is
히드라가 오는 경로로 달려야 됩니다.
you need to put your Corsair in a path where the Hydras would come in.
3회 처리 히드라일 수도 있기
It
때문에
might be 3-hatch Hydra.
여기서 보나 이거 캐논 완성의 그 차이가 있기 때문에
So whether you see it in front of your natural bridge or you see it in front of their natural is different when your cannon timings go up.
완성되냐 안 되냐 되게 중요한 거예요.
That's a really important point. So you always go on the path of the Hydra.
스포면은 절대 이건 레어입니다. 이거는
So if you see a spore like that, it's always a layer. It's not Hydra.
히드라덴 올리고 있고
See, it's Hydra that's just going up.
이렇게 하는 것도 있죠. 레어를 가서 스파이어가 너무 차이가 나기 때문에 스포를 짓는 것도 있고
There might be a case where he goes layer, and then since there's too much of a difference in timing with their Corsair and his Spire timing, he might get spore.
해처리를 애초에 그냥 싸우는 저그 스타일로 하기 위해서 저렇게 하는 것도 있고
There might be, or it might be a just hatchery style third.
그렇게 되면은 3컷에서 뒤로 후위 찍어주고
If it's like that, then just keep making Zealoth of 3 Corsairs.
템플러를 빨리 가져갈 필요 없어요. 오버를 잡아서 뭐 이런 빈틈을 노리는 상황도 안 나오고 왜냐면 이
There's no need for you to go fast Templar Archive because there's not gonna be any room for you to go sneak past after getting all the Overlord because there's a spore.
있기 때문에 그렇게 되면 약간 질럿에 힘을 줄게요.
Then you need to go instead focus on getting your Zealots up. You got leg speed.
이
Focus on your Zealot.
퍼진 오버로드는 시야를 정리해주고
And just take care of all the vision on the spread out Overlord.
질럿에 힘을 줘야 됩니다. 자, 이거 또
Focus your power around getting Zealots up. With this one spore, you can kind of snipe the Overlords going past one spore colony actually.
이렇게 질럿 많을 때
When you have a lot of Zealot,
상대가 운영이기 때문에
since the opponent was going macro play, just pressure him.
컨트롤 해서
Control your Corsair a bit.
두 마리 이렇게 좀 커트
Cut off some Overlords like this.
자, 피 없는 거 좀 관리 잘해가면서
Just take care of the ones that don't have any health.
자 이거 얘가 점사하면은
If he target fires, it doesn't matter too much.
이렇게 이득을 받고 요거
You got some profit off of that.
자 이렇게 뛸게요.
You traded well.
줬으니까
Since you have harassed him a bit, he's gonna go.
그리고 지금 여기 같은 경우는 심시티가 좋은데
So over here, the SimCity's pretty good. So
훅센까는 그런 약간 운을 노리는 거 아니고서는 그냥 이렇게 양방향 길이 열려 있는 3용이로 가는 게 좋죠.
So unless you're going for a Zealot run by through that empty space, it's better to just choose going for base with both entrances open and then just go attack in both directions.
자, 선방향 갈게요 그냥.
So I'm just gonna go right now. Go attack.
오, 진짜 맞기 빡세거든요.
It's really hard to defend against this pressure,
그렇죠.
right?
자 보세요. 이거 업그레이드랑
Just look at this. I have the upgrade +1. I have +1 attack upgrade and speed upgrade at the same time.
이거는 여기서 얘는 끝난 거예요.
He just died over here.
처음에 나를 서치를 제때 못했어. 그래서 끝난 거예요 이거는.
The reason why the game ended like this is because the opponent wasn't able to scout me properly the first time around.
이거는 요 점수 대에서 포크 소리 들을 수 있는 그런 빌드예요.
This is a build that you might be hearing, pro fork, that's pretty much Pusagi, around this build. It's very effective.
왜냐 레더 특성상 한 사람이랑 연속으로 만나는 경우가 적기 때문에.
There's a lot. It's this because you have a low chance of meeting the same person over and over in ladder.
일회성으로 한 사람한테 일회성으로 쓸만하거든요.
You can use this build in best of whatever, in just one time.
쓸만해?
You can just use this. It's a very useful build. It takes people by surprise.
왜냐면 이거 되게 까다롭거든요.
It's very difficult to deal with this build, unless you know what's coming.
오케이, 자 이제 뭘 해도 되죠. 이건 솔직히 강의가 아니라 이거 지지치기를 기다리면 될 뿐.
Well, to be honest, right now you're just waiting for GG instead of doing tutorial. Yeah, it's only S rank, man.
그렇지. 이 구간대에서 이걸 안 하니까 대처법을 모르는 거예요.
The people in this, so newbie people like in this point area, they don't know how to deal with this because they've never gone against this before.
원게이트도 잘 안 해서
No one does one gate anymore. This is like a
이유가 있는데
so this is like an older style that people used to go after going after that one win.
아이고 JD 앞지님 몇개 팬가입 감사합니다.
Thank you for donation.
고맙습니다. 야 이걸 또 알아주시네요. 아이고 고맙습니다. 이 저그가 보세요.
So the Zerg over here.
이 맞아요.
So the method that he's using to scout is the correct one actually.
봐봐.
But look,
제가 말한 타이밍 보세요.
but look at my timing over here. Scout timing.
그러니까 보세요.
When the Zerg comes over here,
내 일질럿을 여기 넣었잖아. 그리고 여기 나올 때 여기 오버.
so when my first Zealot comes out and then my pro comes out, the overlord should be over there.
또 이게 내가 게이머 아마추어의 차이라서 그래.
So this is the difference between a pro gamer and a just just a regular player.
해드릴게요.
Let me tell you this.
게이머는
Pro gamers
생각을 해서 오버.
would think about one base plays like this and put an overlord over there at the natural,
가 뒷선으로 내려와서
and then go through the natural and then scout the forward gateways over there.
걸쳐 있는 게이트까지는 봅니다. 근데
But
아마추어 분들한테는
regular people,
TV를 보고 스타를 하신 분들한테는 옛날 빌드라는 거는 애초에 없는 빌드예요. 요런 빌드.
so build like this, these ancient builds that people used to do long time ago, like these 2-gate builds, it doesn't exist for them. People think it's all like expansion builds. So
그러니까 앞마당만 보고
they only check the natural.
왼쪽으로 꺾어버리는.
And then they just like go, so they see there being no natural pylons being built, so they just go to the outer spawn location right away. Look, the overlord just turned right there.
겁니다. 근데
But
저가 드론도 앞마당 받고
But-
여기는 5시랑 11시가 없으니까 당연히 7시겠지.
so since the drone scouted the other direction, and then he saw, the 11 o'clock and the 7 o'clock position, of course he knows that I am at 5 o'clock, so his overlord's turning back at really weird angle.
올라왔어요.
He came up here. Oh, there's no Protoss base here.
오버가 다시
So overlord is coming back at this very moment.
더블은 아닌 걸 아는데
You know that the opponent is going one base play. It's not a fast expand.
센터 2게이트
There might be a lot of possibility your opponent has to keep in mind. It might be center 2-gate, proxy 2-gate,
본진 2게이트
or in base 2-gate,
본진은 1게이트
or in base 1-gate,
다른 곳 생더블
or
말도 생각하는데
hidden expansion.
본진 3회 처리를 하게 돼요.
So the opponent tends to do 3-hatch in its main because of the mind games.
왜냐?
Why?
3회 처리 내 자리를 모르기 때문에 12시
The reason is because he doesn't actually know where I spawned up until then, really late. So he cannot just take his expansion at its normal third.
3시에 3회 처리 지었을 때 만약에 예를
If
들어
he,
3회 처리
for example, if he had built his third hatchery at the 3 o'clock base,
질러 3질러 1로 뛰면은 취소해야 돼요.
3 zealot just go over there, you have to cancel that.
가 날아가니까 75원 손해죠.
So if you do that, the third loses on 75 mineral because he was forced to cancel the hatchery.
5원을 그냥 맨 땅에다 던지게 되는 거예요.
So he has to just put it on his main anyway.
나도 자리를 보고 뛰는 거죠.
So he saw the spawn point, so he just goes.
구드론 발업이면 이미 저글링을 봤어야 됐는데
The reason behind me just going there without being regards to 9-pull is because like he should have already seen 9-pull by now. If it was 9-pull, he should have already seen the Zergling come into his base, but he didn't. So he's just extending the 3 zealots right now.
드론 서치도 왔고
So reason behind that is like you already seen the drone scout and you already seen the overlord pass.
보고도 없고 아무 액션이 없고
There's no action from the opponent, so just go.
봤기 때문에 드론을 섞어서 찍을 상황이 많거든.
So often people don't react to that correctly and then have droned up at the same time of making lings over here because they actually haven't scouted me. They don't know where I spawned at, what build I'm doing. So right now he's supposed to have 9 Zerglings right now, or what? 6 Zerglings right now.
늦게 찍었어.
But he had gotten Zerglings a bit late now,
그대로 모르니까
since he had not gotten any information from scouting.
원래 1질럿 가면은 곧 있다가 6저글이 나와야 되는데
So normally with one Zealot timing, only 6 links are supposed to come out around now.
내 빌드를 모르니까
But since he doesn't know what my build is,
늦게 찍은 거예요. 저걸.
he had gotten his Zerglings lately,
아까 원게이트
very late.
드론이 11마리예요.
So because of that, even if you have gotten the 1 gate double fast expand, he only has 11 drones right now.
보이시죠?
Look at that.
드론이 11마리예요.
He only has 11 drones.
그리고 발업을 찍고 뺐는데
So he has gotten speedling upgrade and then pulled off drones on gas.
그것을 계속 달리니까
Since my Zealot keep on coming,
드론이 계속 찍는 거예요.
he just has to only ling up. He cannot get any drones.
찍은 거야. 3회 처리. 아까
It's 3 hatchery.
보다는 상황이 좋은데 되게 가난해요 지금.
This is very economically poor for the Zergling. For the Zerg.
저 썬큰 하나 박아서
So he's getting 1 sunken on top of that, right?
라바도 다 안 돌아가.
He's not being able to spend all his larva right now.
드론을 찍는데
He's throwing up right now.
쓸 데가 없지.
But you can't do anything with those links that he just panically gotten out because he already has a wall of zealots.
으로 좁혀놓고 질럿을 이렇게 해놨으니까.
Since you have tightened up the entrance with pylon and you have lined up zealots, so you can't just ling all in right now. So what's the problem right now that you need to watch out for?
저그가 드론을 별로 못 쟀는데
Oh my guys, froze.
토스 앞마당이 완성되기 직전이야.
So this situation is where the third didn't drone up completely, yet your Protoss natural is about to be completed, and then what you need to think about.
이거 픽해서 파봤자 1476, 1460, 1484, 1492
Speedling all in.
1500짜리도 2개가 있어요.
So and look at his patch in his natural right now. It's almost all 1,500. There is some that he mined off from, but then it's not mined that much.
근데 나는 팔부를 처음부터 안 지고.
But then for me though, I have been getting probes non-stop from the very beginning without ever resting on probe production.
찍었기 때문에 많아.
So I have a lot of probes.
누구도 그걸 알 거예요.
So Zerg knows this.
그렇기 때문에 내가 더 부유해.
So I'm more economically rich in this situation. And he has around 2 control groups of the Zerglings right now.
쓸모가 없잖아요.
And he has no use of this.
내가 나가는 것도 아니고.
It's not like I'm going out to attack right now or anything.
언제 이 많은 질럿들이 압박이 되고 저글링들이 쓰레기가 되냐면은
So when those Zerglings become trash and I can start going out on the map is
테크도 빨라요. 왜냐면 지금 가스 파면은 라바를 다 못 돌리거든.
so my tech is even faster because right now the Zerg can't even utilize all his larva right now, and he doesn't have any tech up.
라바를 다 못 돌리게 돼요.
He can't even use all his drones to full extent. He has had another hatchery without making hatchery before he even made additional hatchery.
12시 해처리가 또 늦었을 거예요.
But if he has utilized these spare larvae that he's not utilizing right now, he would have missed out on getting his third hatchery, so he's in a lose-lose situation.
4해처리 테크 이제 게이머들이 많이 하는 건데
So this 4 hatchery tech build is something that pro gamers use a lot, but
드론이 다 안 써지잖아. 근데 나는
right now he's not able to utilize his drone to full extent.
프로브 풀로 찍으면서 할 수 있어요.
So you can just get away, just getting probes non-stop on both 2 bases.
자, 언제 이게 압박이 되냐?
So when you can press pressure out with your zealots,
요때
it's around when your first Corsair comes out right now.
커세어가 나왔을 때 이 저글링과 토스의 질럿 활용도의 차이에서 되게 차이가 납니다.
So the biggest difference comes on your usage of your zealots and your Corsair over here.
커세어를 가면서
As you fly your Corsair over there,
지도를 밝히잖아.
you can see what your opponent is doing right now.
저글링이 어디에 있고
Where the Zerglings are,
숫자가 몇 개가
and how many Zerglings there are on the map.
멘탈 때문이라고 했어요.
So I told you before that Dragoons were made just for the possibility of 2 hatchery Mutalisk.
할 때 이 시야를 밝히면서 저글링의 위치를 알면서
As you reveal the site on the map using your Corsair.
원캐논 있죠.
You have one cannon up right now. You just go out after you have one cannon.
보세요.
Look at this.
여기서 제가 나가거든요.
See, I go out to attack right now off of one cannon.
시야를 밝혀서
I have map vision, so
이 질럿들 쌓일수록 요 타이밍에 아드레날린도 안 되고 업그레이드도 안 된 질럿 대 저글링 싸우면 질럿이 좋잖아요.
so when Zergling have no upgrade like adrenaline, your zealots are much more cost effective against in the fight.
요 타이밍에 이 저글링들이 무용지물이 되는 거예요.
So Zerglings around at this point in time become just literal piece of trash.
아 그냥 이게 드론이었으면 할 정도로.
Maybe if all those lanes were drones, you can block this attack.
뭐 썬큰을 끼고 하면은 좋지.
Well, maybe he can block this with those links if he had already pre-positioned them in front of the sunken colony.
썬큰을 끼고 저글링이 있으면은 좋은데
But
이거를 센터에서 왔다 갔다 하는데 아무 방해를 못 한다는 거죠. 이 저글.
But that just means that he gives up all the map control in the center of the map because he cannot contest me on the middle of the map if he's just surrounding his sunken colony.
저글링들이. 그러다 보니까
Because of that, he have a lot of links, but he also needs to get sunken colony because of that. He's very, very poor right now.
가난해지고 있어요.
So he became poor and then he drowned up and he's poor again now. The start of the game.
이면은 그냥 커세어까지 띄우고 캐논 박으면서 멀티해도 돼요.
So say opponent is 9 pull, then you can just get cannons up, get Corsair, and then get speed lock
질럿 숫자 최소화하면서.
while minimizing the amount of zealots as least as possible.
이렇게 됐죠.
So the game went out like this.
있던 거야 게임이. 내가 잘못한 것도 없는데.
So Protoss is nothing here, but the Zerg already kind of lost the game by himself
빌드 때문에.
because of the build differences.
이게 아니더라도 여기서 이 타이밍 때 나갔다가 이게 지금 끝날 상황이 나오니까 제가 끝내려고 한 거지.
Well, you don't even need to attack here. I only attacked here because I knew that this would end the game right here.
만약에 끝날 상황이 안 보인다. 그러면 이거 유닛 아껴두세요. 지금 템플러 찍었잖아요. 테크가 없어. 아까 로드킬에서 한 것처럼 질템을 나가면 돼요.
So I have another guy that did the same situation here, like in Roadkill map. So in that map, I didn't see that I could end the game right there and then. So what I did was I just conserved the army, just put some pressure on the map, bring them back, and then just go out with Templar Zealot afterwards.
그때 질템보다 숫자가 더 많거든요.
You have a lot of Zealot Templar in that timing. So
이만 하면 안 돼요.
You just-
깔끔하게 싸먹히면은 저그가 다시 좋아진.
you just need to avoid overextending. If you had overextended here and all your army died without doing damage, you would have just well, you wouldn't have lost the game, but it would have been more advantageous for the Zerg at that point,
질 수가 있기 때문에
and you might lose.
무조건 그냥 아껴야 됩니다. 이거.
So you need to conserve this army as much as possible, as long as you know that you can't win right away.
지금 거기다가 공업까지 돼가지고
So yeah, +1 attack on this Zealot is really strong.
아무것도 없죠.
So he has nothing. His tech is slow. He has no army. He's very weak right now.
업그레이드도 늦었고
Yeah, he has no upgrades. He doesn't even have +1 defense armor on the Zerglings.
좋고 뭘 찍어도 안 된 상황이었어요.
This became a situation that no matter what he did, this was a lost game.
처음에 빌드 같은 거 서치 빌드 같은 걸 먹고
Because at the start of the game, he became disadvantaged first through his build order.
상대가 예상보다 가난하게 되고
And then he became more economically poor than he was supposed to be.
나는 상대보다 앞서가는 부자가 되고
And third, I became a more economically rich player by applying these.
엄청 압박이 강한 러시가
This became a very pressure heavy build on because of all that factors going into.
하는 상황이 되는 거죠.
The game just made itself like this.
게이머들한테 안 통한다는 거. 좀
Well, the bad thing about this, sometimes, well, most of the time, this doesn't work against pro gamers because they account for all these.
꼼꼼하게 본진 안까지 사사치 뒤집.
Because normally, pro gamers, they would just scout into the base not ruling out any possibility of in-base 2-gate or in-base 1-gate like this.
그리고 드론 언제까지 찍고 링 찍어도 요 투게이트는 맞고 컨트롤도
Yeah, and then they have pro gamers have ability to drone up to a certain extent. They know when to drone up, when to make links, when to make minimal amount, when how to micro to deal with this kind of builds nowadays.
되고 하면은 요게 쓰레기 빌드가 되는데
This becomes a shit build if you establish this.
까지는 이 빌드가 되게 좋을 겁니다.
But this is a really good build if you're just going for S and a little bit beyond. Not against pro gamers though.